Welcome to the Gallery of the Gods. Here you will meet the deities who in ancient belief shaped the destinies of men and determined the fate of Troy. These 12 gods and goddesses have influenced civilization throughout the ages and still hold sway over the human imagination today. Now, here are their tales. Ruthless and murderous, the god of war, Ares, with his passion for destruction, embodies in his legend the worst of humanity's traits. It is said that as he and his consorts, grief, strife, panic and terror, walk the earth in search of devastation and brutality, that a chorus of groans echoes to the heavens. During the Trojan War, he used his power to aid the Trojan warrior Hector. But Ares himself was no hero, rather a coward who is described as fleeing the battlefield when wounded, his cries heard even on Mount Olympus. Today, centuries after the fall of Troy, Ares still casts his shadow across the world. His appetite for chaos and pain echoed throughout the ages. On Mount Olympus, where all other gods are beautiful, only Hephaestus, god of fire, is described as ugly. Legend has it that during a quarrel, Zeus hurled him down to earth, crippling him forever. For what he lacks in appearance, he makes up for in his extraordinary powers, and despite his deformity, or perhaps because of it, he crafted objects of exquisite beauty. From his workshop deep within the earth, this master of fire and forge crafted the palaces, tools, and armor of the gods and goddesses, such as Zeus's thunderbolt and Athena's armor. In the Trojan War, he fashioned, among other things, new armor for Achilles. And yet, his true value proved not in war, but in peace, as he was also the patron god of artists and craftsmen. The benevolent Hephaestus has bestowed gifts of great beauty and skill on humanity, his gentle character visible in the details of man's great artistic designs and achievements. The only god who is said to have a mortal parent was Dionysus, the god of wine and the grape. His magical gift distilled from the vines was the bringer of both ecstasy and madness. His intoxicating creation can kindle revelry in its drinkers and also ignite drunken chaos. In ancient times, his worshippers would gather in the forest and dance in his honor, drinking until they reached a primal frenzy. The warriors of Troy sought relief from the fury in his potent brew. Indeed, this is true for war throughout the ages. But Dionysus was also known as the god of the theater, and some of the world's greatest ancient poetry was written for him, and all those who participated, from the writer to the actors and singers, were thought to be his servants. So next time you have a glass of wine, raise your cup to Dionysus, but never forget that it is a fine line between blessing and ruin when it comes to the power of the vine. Apollo, god of prophecy, music, and healing, offers his wisdom as a link between gods and man alike. With an intellect as far-reaching as the arrows shot from his silver bow, he is said to be the first god to teach mortals the healing arts, including that of music. It was thought that he helped humans to achieve their full potential with his gifts of enlightenment. During the Trojan War, it was believed that Apollo sided with and aided the Trojan warrior Hector on the field of battle. As the conflict raged, he was said to have shot fiery arrows down at the Greeks from his chariot in the sky. Centuries later, when man journeyed to the heavens, they fittingly named their mission to the moon Apollo, after the god who inspired mankind to reach for the stars. With water covering over 70% of the world's surface, it is only natural that a god should be appointed the duty of ruling over it and all its wonders. Poseidon serves as such. As temperamental as the sea itself, he watches and controls his domain from deep beneath its surface. During the war, Poseidon favored the Greeks, a seafaring people. But when they set sail for home, arrogant in victory, he unleashed a storm, wreaking havoc on their fleet. Whether it be through gentle breezes or crashing waves, Poseidon, his trident in hand, still speaks to us today, a force as eternal as the tides. From his throne on Mount Olympus, mighty Zeus ruled over god and man alike, maintaining order and justice in the universe. His thunderbolt of vengeance, the most feared weapon on earth and in the heavens. As combat raged at Troy, other gods picked favorites among the warriors, but Zeus refused to take sides, using his golden scales instead to balance the destinies of Troy's heroes. Yet it was he who bestowed upon Paris the fateful task of judging which goddess was the fairest, and as fate would have it, was also the father of Helen. This god of gods was no paragon of virtue. The most disloyal of husbands, his pursuit of goddesses and mortal women alike, left a trail of deception, heartbreak, and violence across the ancient world. From the global celebration of the Olympic Games to the awe-inducing temples and monuments erected in his honor, Zeus's legend remains as strong as the god himself. Hermes was a god forever in motion. In his winged sandals, caduceus in hand, he was best known as the messenger of Zeus and the patron god of travelers. Fittingly, he was also the god of thieves and commerce. It was said that as a child he stole a herd from Apollo, then crafted a lyre from a tortoiseshell as a gift of forgiveness. It was said that he aided Odysseus on his journey home from Troy, and ever since, Hermes has been credited with aiding travelers. Renowned for his physical prowess, he is also known for creating the sport of foot racing, as he was always sprinting around the world on missions for the gods. A bringer of good fortune and wealth, Hermes appears more frequently in mythological tales than any other deity, making him perhaps the most beloved of all the gods on Mount Olympus.